Hey guys, welcome. My name is MagdalineJanet and welcome to my channel. Today I am so excited because I am back with a multiple looks using one palette, and the palette of choice is the brand spanking new Urban Decay Naked Ultraviolet palette that looks like this. And this palette recently released and I wanted to get it because I just feel like it has so many beautiful colors that you can work with for everyday looks and even glam looks, you know? So if you want to see how to get multiple looks using Urban Decay's newest naked palette, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post videos like this all the time. I have a playlist of multiple looks using one palette up here. And without further ado, let's get started. By the way, guys, Urban Decay is a women-owned brand, so we gotta support, you know? Okay, let's start.
Alright guys, this is how the palette looks straight out of the box. Super pretty lavender violet shade. More violet, not lavender. This is how the brand new palette looks. And let's do some swatches. The first one is Trippin', Mind Slip, Dazed, Hacked, VR, Lucid, Optimize, Warning, Cyberpunk, Euphoric, Purple Dust, and Digital. These are how the swatches look. They looked pretty good for just being swatched on the arms. And we are going to prime the lids with some concealer, this Revlon. We're just going to add it on the lid and just blend it out per the usual. And then going in with the shade Mind Slip, we are going to pat down the wet concealer and just blend it all over the lid. Going in with the shade Hacked and this smaller brush with synthetic hair, which picks up product a lot better, we're going to hit it right over the crease and just keep it on the crease and get it as dark as you want. And then cleaning it off with the first brush, getting a makeup wipe and cleaning off our lid to then add this concealer and cut the crease, but not sharp. We're getting this fluffy brush and just patting it down with our fingers so it's not a defined crease, you know? Blending it out with Hack so we don't have the harsh line. Going in with the shade Trippin'. I felt like this shade worked very well on top of a wet surface, wet tacky surface, as opposed to just on the skin dry, you know? Blending it out again with Hacked. Going in with the shade Digital and this pointy pencil brush, we're gonna start creating a thick, sort of messy eyeliner just to give our lid some definition and depth. Blending everything out, of course. Just, you know, doing the same steps and cleaning off the fallout that we had. Going in with this purple Urban Decay eyeliner and hitting the waterline. Using the shade Digital and getting this flat brush and keeping it super close to the lower lash line. And then adding it and connecting it to the end. Going back in with Hacked and just blending that out with a bit of a fluffy brush. And just retracing all of our steps so we have everything nicely blended and cohesive. And guys, this is look number one. Super pretty, everyday, soft glam look. I feel like looking at the palette, you don't think it could give you like such a soft look, you know, just like everyday, no lashes, just mascara and kind of out the door. But this is look number one, super pretty, soft. And let's move on to look number two. Starting off with this P. Louise primer base for the lid. I like to try both concealer and primer just to see how they both work. And then going back in with Mind Slip and just patting it down per the usual. And going in with Hacked with the same brush we used the first look. And just keeping it close to the crease and just building it. And with this brush that has a pointier tip, we're going to build the crease and get it even darker so we have that depth. And back with our first brush, using the shade VR, which is such a pretty shade, but it looks more like a topper, not really a shimmer or metallic, which is why I had to use my finger to really build it up. And then the small brush to get all the areas close to the crease. Back in, blending everything out, you know, per the usual. And then going in with Lucid. Look, what the, so freaking pretty. It's so bright, it's beautiful, It's not too bright where it's like corny, you know, but just loved it. Perfect pop. Back in with our eyeliner to the waterline. Using the shade Cyberpunk, again with this flat brush, keeping it very, very close to the lower lash line, and we're gonna extend it out and do like a lower lash line wing, just to give the look a little oomph, you know? Guys, this is look number 2. So pretty. I love the shade Lucid. It's such a bright shade, but it works so well with violets and lavender shades, you know? But this is look number 2. Pretty, pretty. Just threw on some mascara and, you know, called it a day. This is something I would definitely wear every day. Would you guys? Would you guys wear this, you know, out to the grocery store, which is the only place we're going these days, you know? But okay, let's move on to look number 3. Again with Mind Slip, hitting it all over the base. I'm using concealer, and concealer and primer both worked very well. Going in with the shade Warning and starting right in the inner corner with this flat synthetic brush and getting some sharp lines going. Using the shade Euphoric and this fluffy brush that really picks up the pigment very well. We're just adding it and blending it on to Warning. Going in with the shade Cyberpunk and a flat synthetic brush, we're gonna start creating a wing. We're winging it out just exactly how the shape of our eye looks and just filling it back in. And then retracing our steps, and all the while we're blending everything together. And we want this point really pointy. Going in with my favorite liner right now, this Maybelline Hyper Easy liner. Super easy to use, guys. And we're just gonna create a wing that already follows our tail right there. And guys, I'm actually going to wear some falsies. These are the bold lashes in Eyes on Me style. And we're gonna go on the lower lash line, literally doing the same exact steps with Warning, Euphoric, and Cyberpunk. You guys already know at this point what we're doing with this eyeliner. And look number 3, guys, super pretty. Look how pretty these shades come out on camera, and they look even better in person. I'm thinking of also going back to lashes just for a few looks. You guys know I like to do looks that are lash friendly and everyday mascara friendly. I think I figured out a way where my eyes won't be too sensitive. So this is look number 3, super pretty with finally wearing lashes. I miss them so much. Okay, let's move on to look number 4. Starting off with the shade Optimize. It is a matte lavender shade, and we're gonna hit it all over the crease and build it as much as possible. Using the shade Purple Dust and this very small brush, we're gonna keep it right on the crease. This brush really helps to keep the colors in the areas you want it to. So keep in mind using small brushes really helps with that. And back in with Optimize to blend that out. Using the shade Cyberpunk, we're gonna hit it right in the middle with this Morphe brush. And with our concealer, we're gonna actually cut the crease just in the inner corner. I'm blending it out with my finger so we don't have that harsh line. And back in with Cyberpunk just to blend those out. Using the shade Mind Slip, we're gonna hit it right where we hit the concealer. And now we're gonna reinforce our steps using the shade Purple Dust to really blend everything together and optimize to get our transition shade going. Now using the shade Purple Dust, we're hitting the lower lash line and really building it on. And then going in with Cyberpunk and just hitting it on top of that. And using the shade Mind Slip to continue in the inner corner. And using this LA Girl Bright liner, hitting the waterline to make our eyes appear bigger. Light liners usually do this. And using the shade Dazed, this shimmer shade, we're just hitting it in the inner corner. And guys, this is look number 4. Super pretty, again, simple. I feel like simple and soft. These shimmer shades really blend well together, and I like that you can actually blend it in your crease and it not make like a muddy mess, you know? At least that's what I think when I think of shimmers in the crease. This palette is really, really working well with that. And let's move on to the last and final look. Starting off with the shade Hacked, we're going to build it all over the crease and then in the lower lash line. Using the shade Warning with the same brush, we're going to build it on top of Hacked. Now going in with the shade Cyberpunk, we're going to build it on top of those two shades and then keeping it right on the crease and in the outer corner. And then starting to build at the lower lash line. Back in with our first brush so we get all the edges. Using the shade Purple Dust, with another brush, we're just going to build on top of the other shades along with the lower lash line. With a flat synthetic brush, we're going to use Euphoric and hit it right in the middle. This type of brush really picks the product and lays it down well. Turning the brush around, using the shade Lucid and hitting it right in the inner corner and blending all those out while you're placing. With this clean brush, we're going to blend out all the harsh lines in the small areas. Going in with Digital, with the same small brush, we're going to build on top of everything else. Again, blending out harsh lines, and with this big fluffy clean brush, we're just blending everything out so everything's nice and cohesive. And then with the inner corner, Lucid, we're hitting it and bringing it over, and then along with Euphoric and Purple Dust, hitting the lower lash line. Going in with our purple liner we've been using the whole video, and using the same lashes. This is the look, guys. Super pretty, glam, blended look, so beautiful, and I'm kind of happy lashes are back on this channel, at least until the meantime. This is look number 5. Super pretty, guys. This is it for the looks. I do have an outro, my first impressions of the palette, and all kinds of good stuff coming up, so don't leave, and I'll see you in the outro.
Hey guys, so we are back, 5 looks done, and oh my gosh, let's talk about this palette. You guys know I've been on a roll with multiple looks using one palette, but this one was so easy to work with. All the shades, I would say, and I used all the shades, they were all blendable, they were all creamy. The only thing I would say is that I wish like one of these dark shades was probably a matte, but at the same time, it kind of helped get out of the comfort zone because I've never really blended out shimmer shades in the crease. So that was something cool, so that I had to learn how to do, you know? But other than that, I really like the palette. It's beautiful. You can do everyday looks here. You can kind of do mild, I would say, looks here, and then bold looks here. Usually Urban Decay's Naked palettes, that's usually the format on how they work. And honestly, I liked it. I think you get what you pay for in this instant. It is a very expensive palette. $49 is a lot of money for a palette. But of course, if you love collecting the Naked palettes like me, I think it's worth it. But it is pricey. That's always my concern when I review things for you guys, is the price. I try to review things that are affordable and not so affordable like this, just to kind of give you guys options. Overall, I thought the palette worked very well. The blending was very easy. I was able to get looks done pretty quickly instead of having to blend and blend and blend. The mattes were pigmented. I don't think the palette swatched as well as I would like it to, but again, swatches don't really indicate much to me because the skin on your arms and on your fingers is way different from the one on your lids. You know what I mean? You guys, I think, have seen, I reviewed the Honey palette and I do have the Naked Heat. So I have the Naked Ultimate Basics, which is the first video I filmed with. It was this palette. But I really like these palettes. I think they work well. I think the color story is great. Super pretty violet purple. Girl, I liked it, as you guys can tell. But let me know if you plan to buy it, and let me know which one is your favorite look. I honestly like them all. I thought they were all different. I really wanted to kind of step out of my comfort zone and change it up a little bit when it comes to the looks. And also, this look was actually inspired by Robert Welsh, which I'll show you guys his look. He reviewed the palette. and that's the look he created. I usually don't watch reviews when I review palettes. This fifth look, I just didn't know what to do. I kind of ran out of ideas, and I was like, you know what, let me see something different that I usually don't do. And I usually don't blend a lot of different shades together, which I really should start doing. I only stick to like 3 or 4 shades, you know? But anyway, I think this is it. Really, really like this palette. And also I appreciate that Urban Decay doesn't come out with these like every 2 seconds. I know the Honey came out back in September, so it's been a few months. So it gives us some time to like save our coins, you know what I mean? Let me stop blabbing. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And I'll talk to you guys next one. Bye.